I'm running for mayor because I really love Eden Prairie. I've lived here 25 years. My husband and I have raised 3 children here. My sister and her family live here. My parents moved here about 15 years ago. We are deeply rooted in Eden Prairie, and it's a city that I really love. When I started on the council in 1994, I entered a situation where Eden Prairie had been growing by leaps and bounds. The city could hardly keep up with the demand for development and new parks and new roads and things like that. And some things hadn't been taken care of. For example, when I started at the city, there wasn't a capital improvement plan. There was no capital improvement fund to pay for capital improvement. There was no economic development fund. There had not really been a whole lot of future planning done at the city because the city was so busy keeping up with what was happening on a day-to-day basis. And over the course of the 12 years that I was with the city, we did a lot of things to ensure that Eden Prairie was financially well set for today and for the future. We did things like we established a capital improvement program, a capital improvement plan that set out all the expensive, large projects that needed to be done over the next 20 years. We condensed that into a 5-year capital improvement plans that we worked on every year. We funded the capital improvement fund. Liquor store profits were directed into it, as well as the capital improvement fund policy is that 1.2 million be levied every year to go into the capital improvement fund so that we can pay for some of the major things like road repairs that are consistently needed every year. We developed an economic development fund to encourage business development within Eden Prairie. We talked with financial advisors to find out what type of a reserve or a budget stabilization fund was needed for municipalities, and that was set at, we were told that was 15%, which is really not that high. I'm on the commission with Southwest Transit, and our reserve policy there is quite a bit higher. We did all these things, and we also pushed and strove for financial excellence to the point that we were awarded the first AAA bond rating that the city had while I was mayor. So we did a lot of things to show that we were financially well managed, to prove that we had a vibrant business economy, we had a good plan for the future, and things were really set up. Well, what I've seen happening in the last 4 years has really dismayed me because it's definitely an erosion of all of this good planning. The current council, the majority controlling group of the current council has it set in their mind that the most important thing that they do is keep taxes down. So what they've done is steadily increase the budget over the last 4 years, but they've kind of kept the levy, the portion of the budget that you raise from taxes, they've kept that pretty low. Well, the only way you can do that is to borrow some money from other funds. They've taken it from the Economic Development Fund. They're not putting any money into that any longer. They're taking it from the Budget Stabilization Fund to the point where by about 2013 there will be no money in that Budget Stabilization Fund. They're taking the money out of the Capital Improvement Program by not fully funding it. The last couple of years they've levied about $90,000 for capital improvements rather than the 1.2 million that was designated by the capital improvement plan policy. So that plan is going to be out of money in a few years. So those are reasons that I'm very concerned about the future of Eden Prairie, and that is the reason that I'm running.